everybody, and welcome to Ivy League Analytical English. I'm Karen.
And I'm Wesley. 好，我们看看第一题。他说，一项新的研究指出，服用维他命不但可能对健康没好处，甚至可能提高死亡的风险啊。那一项研究指出新的研究指出，那我想这个句型我们练习过很多次了啊，应该很驾轻就熟就能够写出来。好 ，A new research study shows that。好，那这个 research 是不可以数的，所以你不能说 a new research， 那不对啊。你要可以数的是那个 study 啊，那 study 你前面可以加一个 research 来形容它，你可以说 a new study 或者是 a new research study 都可以啊。那 shows that 啊，这个指出我们直接用现在式啊，因为用现在式的意思就是说，感觉起来现在这个可能还是真的。你如果用过去式的话，好像是说他过去这么说，那现在是不是真的？你就不打包票，有那种感觉。
Or it just means that they proved it on that occasion. 那重点就放在当时，把它那个证明出来了。
好，那所以就在这里，我们用现在式可能比过去式好一点哈。用过去式的话，就像 Karen 老师讲，他另外一个意思可能就是感觉起来他们当时做那个实验，当时证明出来的哈，重点把它放到过去的。反正你用英文里面用过去简单式呢，它跟现在就产生了一个距离，一个隔阂，这表示某件事情在过去开始，在过去结束，跟现在已经有一点距离了。好那我们来继续看这个服用维他命不但可能对健康没好处，甚至可能怎样怎样。那不但怎样怎样，甚至于可能怎样怎样。那我们可以用一个英文里面也有一个强调句型 ，not only but also。好，所以呢，我就直接写作 shows that 服用维他命 taking vitamins。这地方我在翻的时候，我有在想说，这个服用是不是一定必要？我可不可以直接说 vitamins？ 但是后来想，这地方服用也许有一点意义，因为服用是你主动去吃。
That's right. And if you just say vitamins, we may think you mean vitamins that are already in the food, and that's not what they mean.
Yeah, 好，那如果我只讲 vitamins 的话，可能会让人家觉得，这只是我指的是食物里面本来就含有的维他命。但在这里其实不是这个意思，这里是你主动去服用维他命，所以要加个 taking 会好一点。所以呢，我们就讲说 taking vitamins， 这个就是动名词片语当主词。好，我服用维他命 may not only 可能怎么样呢？对健康没好处。这个地方你当然可以说 may not only be not beneficial， 但是好多个 not 听起来很怪。
And not only that, it's harder to process because we have to stop and tune out of what you're saying and start processing what you said. Not only not. It takes a while for our brain to do that. It's much easier if it's just an affirmative or just one negative. Beyond that, we have to think.
对，好，那在英文里面呢，如果你同时出现两个这个否定的话呢，大脑会一下子应付不过来。
It's not just English. I think it's any language. When you start piling up the negatives, we just have to process each one separately and then decide, is this affirmative or negative in the end?
所以这个地方呢，我们如果说 not only may not 什么一大堆的，这个当然不好。所以呢，把它后面那个转成肯定的，所以变成 may not only fail to improve health.
And in fact, fail to is a negative, but it's not a not, so it's less confusing.
对 ，fail to 也是个否定的意思，可它没有 not 这个形式在里面，所以比较容易懂。好，所以 may not only fail to improve health, but 怎么样呢 ？may even 甚至于可能会增加死亡提高死亡的风险，就是增加死亡的风险。我们可以说 increase the risk of death 这样就解决了。所以这个句子我的翻译，我再从头念一次。A new research study shows that taking vitamins may not only fail to improve health, but may even increase the risk of death.
That's a good translation. And a bit on the content, I have always felt that way myself. I have never trusted the idea of taking vitamins to be healthy. Some people were taking vitamin E for a long time, and now we found out it is not really that safe to take a lot of vitamin E. It's actually dangerous. And that's true of a lot of the other vitamins because it's easy to get too much. And if you get too much, it'll throw something out of balance and you may be vulnerable to some kind of illness because of it. So it's better just to eat a balanced diet. And that's what we're going to say here in the translation.
刚刚 Karen 老师用了几个很棒的片语例如说throw something out of balance 就是让某个东西失去了平衡那让我们变成 vulnerable 我们就很容易受到什么的侵害。
Instead of out of balance, I could have said something even more colloquial. To throw something out of whack. It will throw your whole system out of whack. W-H-A-C-K. Whack means to hit. He whacked me on the bottom. 那就是他 打了我的那个屁股。But to throw something out of whack means to cause it to lose balance. It means the whole system becomes unbalanced and unstable.
好，所以我们除了说 throw something out of balance 之外，我们也可以说 throw something out of whack 一样的意思。
Right, okay. My translation for this sentence is a recent study suggests that taking vitamins may not be beneficial to health and may in fact even increase the risk of death. Let's listen again. A recent study suggests that taking vitamins may not be beneficial to health and may in fact even increase the risk of death. First of all, I said suggests. You can say shows, that's pretty strong. Proves would be even stronger. But I don't, in addition to not trusting the idea of taking vitamins, I also don't really trust a single study because very often they are disproved later on. So be very careful, first of all, about health fads. And second, be careful of believing any study that comes along and says that this proves that, blah, blah, blah. Because very often things are completely reversed later.
好，那用 suggest 这个字呢，在这里它语气就比较弱一点啊，只是它有这个意思啊。那如果说我们用 shows 的话，语气就比较强一点 ，proves 语气会更强。但是因为这只是一个 study 啊，之前显然有很多的 study 说啊，这吃维他命啊，每天吃一点什么对身体多好多好。那现在有一个新的研究把它推翻了，但是其实这不表示说这个新的研究绝对是对的，因为说不定将来另外一个新的研究又把它又做了修正。
You have to be careful.
所以真的要小心哈。所以这个其实以前我们聊天的时候，常常会觉得说，那这个怎么一天到晚啊，以前说好的东西，现在变得不好了。
Right.
像喝咖啡啊，一下子就有报告说啊，这个喝咖啡对身体怎样怎样的好，一下又有一个另外的报告说来啊，可能喝咖啡对身体有某种的不良影响等等的。
That goes back and forth.
Yeah.
And it's done that many, many times.
对，来来回回 back and forth 啊，所以光一个 study， 我们这个还是语气保留一点，用 suggest 这样比较语气弱一点。
As for coffee, I would suggest drink it in moderation if you really like it, and then never mind all the studies.
Yeah.
All right, so the other thing to watch out for here, besides suggest, 暗示, that means it's probably this way or it's possibly this way. Also note, it may in fact even. So when you're trying to translate 甚至 in Chinese, you might want to add in fact. 事实上，可能，甚至怎样怎样. It may in fact even. So the whole sentence...A recent study suggests that taking vitamins may not be beneficial to health and may in fact even increase the risk of death.
好，那 Karen 老师他这个地方甚至可能这个甚至呢，他是用一个 in fact even 啊，这in fact 这个片语跟 even 这个字把这个语气提高出来，产生了一个对比哈 in fact 加进去，那加一个 even 啊，这样大概差不多可以把中文那个甚至可能那个意思翻出来了。
Let's look at the translation in our magazine. A new study indicates that taking vitamins might not be beneficial to your health and may even increase the risk of death. That's a pretty good translation.
好，那各位发现到这个它对健康无益，它是用might not be beneficial to your health。然后后面呢，它没有加 in fact， 但它用了 even 这个字 may even increase the risk of death 也是有把那个甚至可能的意思多多少少翻出来了。
Good. Number 2.
好，我们看第二题。他说从均衡的饮食中获得所需的营养，向来是维持健康最简单最好的方法。好，那最简单最好的方法，我们可以直接说 the best and simplest way。那当然你可能会想说，我可不可以说 the simplest and best way 也可以哈。不过英文上这个基本上如果有两个形容词的话，通常我们会比较把多音节的好像放后面一点。
That's one explanation. The other one is we need to put the most important one and the most obvious one first. The best way, 而且不但是最好的，而且是最简单的。So that's an additional advantage. We put the additional advantages after the main reason. That was my thinking on this one.
OK， 好，那在另外一个这个角度去考虑的就是我们一些比较 additional 的这个 information 我们放到后面去哈。那最重要的 information 先讲。那这个最简单跟最好，这里面其实最比较重要应该是最好啊，所以我们先讲最好，然后呢，那另外一个 additional 的这个好处就是它是 simplest， 好，所以我们先讲 best， 再讲 simplest， 所以不管你从哪个角度来看，这个最好的写法还是 the best and simplest way。然后呢，维持健康，我们直接说 to stay healthy。然后呢，向来是表示它一直是这样子，所以 has always been to 怎么样呢？这个从均衡的饮食中获得所需的营养。to get the nutrients you need， 你 得到你所需要的那个营养养分，好 nutrients， 然后呢从均衡的饮食中获得，我们可以说 simply by eating a balanced diet， a balanced diet 就是均衡的饮食，所以我们只要吃一个均衡的饮食，这样去得到我们的 the nutrients you need， 那这样子整个句子就可以把意思翻出来了。我现在把我的这个整个句子再讲一遍。The best and simplest way to stay healthy has always been to get the nutrients you need simply by eating a balanced diet.
Very good. Here's my translation, and I'm going to reverse what I just said about best and simplest because I followed the Chinese order in my translation. Getting the nutrients you need directly from the food you eat has always been both the simplest and the best path to good health. Now, I used a different logic here. In the first translation, that's Wesley's translation, we put best first because I wanted it to be strong at the beginning, or Wesley did. And so we put best first. But in mine, I'm putting the important part at the end. So I'm leaving the best till last. Literally, the word best is coming towards the end. Getting the nutrients you need directly from the food you eat, pause, has always been both the simplest, 不但是最简单, and the best, 其实是最好的 way or path to good health. Way wouldn't be so good here. Path to good health.
好，那这里呢 Karen 老师他用的一个结构，其实它结构不同，所以对这个形容词的顺序也会有改变。因为 both A and B 这个其实有强调到那个 B 因为你 both A 跟 B 就不只是 A 还有 B 所以两个都强调到了，所以这个时候呢后面那个 B 反而我们可以把那个比较重要的 information 这个要强调的 the best 这个 information 放到 B 去。好，所以各位要注意到这个就是像翻译我们在讲解的时候，这些都是很细微的东西，可是如果你能够把这些掌握住的话，你写出来英文就读者立刻就知道你要表达的是什么意思，你要强调是什么东西。
So don't feel confused if we seem to be contradicting what we just said. We're giving you additional possibilities to consider when you are translating. So try to remember our argumentation. We have a reason for each one. Store them up in your brain. And when it comes time for you to translate a somewhat similar sentence, you can weigh the possibilities and decide which you think is most appropriate for your translation.
对，好，那所以这些小地方，各位如果能够把它掌握，慢慢这个接触，慢慢想，慢慢记得，慢慢学习，那你真的在写的时候，英文就会这个在小地方会写得很漂亮。那这里还有一点就是 Karen 老师他讲说，getting the nutrients you need directly from the food you eat。有人会说，那个均衡的饮食，跑到哪里去了？其实已经包含了英文的句子里面了。如果你能够从你吃的食物里面得到你所需要的养分，那其实应该就是一个均衡的饮食。因为如果不均衡的饮食的话，你就无法从你吃的食物里面得到你所需要的养分。所以这个是 implied， 这个均衡的这个字已经在这个句子里面。所以中翻英、英翻中都一样，翻译的时候很多时候有些东西它这个意思是已经包含在内的。那这个时候你可以选择翻出来或者不翻。如果不翻的话没有问题，会比较简洁。你如果翻出来的话，常常就产生一个强调的效果。
That's right. And in this case, I think I just forgot about it. But I think it's because, I agree with you, I believe it was implied. Because if our attention is placed on getting the nutrients we need, that means we have to get a whole set of nutrients. And if we need to rely on food to do that, of course, we'd better eat a balanced diet.
Yeah.
So that was behind my thinking on that one. Let's look at the translation in our magazine. Getting the nutrients you need through a balanced diet is always the simplest and best way to stay healthy.
好，那这个句型基本上这个也是一样，用一个动名词片语当主词然后他用 through 这个介系词 through a balanced diet 透过一个均衡的这个饮食来得到这样也是另外一种说法。
Okay, remember to tune in next time. Hope to see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.